Hey guys, what's going on? It's Cherry Bulk here, and I felt like making a more like condensed guide on the Smoke Frost set play. So before I get started, I want to clear something up first, and maybe I'll make a separate video about this. There are people who, especially in NRS games, they seem to think that set play is the same thing as like a vortex or mix-up situation, and that's not what it is. It's kind of a mix-up situation, but I'll get to it. So, what is set play? Well, set play is the best way now to put it is a sequence of offense after you get a knockdown. Usually, it requires a knockdown that has perfect symmetry. So, like, every decision works out for you in an advantageous way, and the opponent has nothing but, like, costly or bad options. It's not like a vortex. A vortex is literally you're in the vortex till you block correctly. Set play is a little different. Set play has avenues out, and you are using your opponent's own tendencies sometimes to make the set play give you the best results possible. That's the thing about set play that a lot of people don't understand is it's like Yomi based vortexing, if anything. So, and the way it tends to end up working is the deeper into the layers you go, the worse it gets. So your first layer is usually going to be rewarding, but it's not going to be as rewarding as like once they start doing crazy shit like wake up jumping or something. So Smoke Frost has this all over the place, and I'm going to talk about it today. So here's the first thing we're going to talk about is everything, of course, is going to be based around putting the orb on the screen and ideally putting the orb when they're knocked down. So we have 3 different knockdowns with smoke that we rely on for this to work. First one is ending a combo in jump 1-1 back forward 3. This is 61 plus 61. So, like, if you want to get a full combo with Frost, it would look like this. Hold on. Like that. Second is going to be ending a combo and forward 1-2, 1 plus 3. Cancel it into the orb like this. So, those are the 2 main ones. There are some other options, but I'm not going to go into those because they're like really situational and not really relevant for the most part. So you can also do, after you spend your gravity, you can also do jump 1-1 back forward 3, and it gives you plus 53, and it still gives you enough time to work with. So how does this work? So when the orb is out, your opponent has to be afraid of first getting grabbed. Then they have to be afraid of getting knocked into it by something like this. You know, and then like getting knocked down with the orb coming on them, and you're doing a meaty with the orb coming in on them. So there's multiple things here you can do. And this is escapable. Like this really is not like, this is not a true vortex or anything like that, but getting out is costly and very risky. So I picked Johnny because he's got Nut Punch, and I picked Sub because he's got like one of the best invincible reversals in the game, invincible wake ups too, and because I want to show this off. I want people to see that it can be gotten out of, but the risk is all on the person knocked down, even with some of the best defensive options in this game. So we're going to go in mid-screen set play first. I'm going to talk about that. So depending on the character, like that will heavily determine whether or not you go for this or whether or not you go for this. Against characters that tend to have like long range keep out buttons, you want to do this. You want to put all the space between you two. And then I would say against like a rushdown character like Johnny Cage, then that's when you can go for this. And yeah, so how does this work? So first, we're going to assume that they don't do anything. They just try to defend, right? So I'm gonna talk about this first because this is gonna be the more common one that you're gonna use. Okay. So my options from here look like this. First, back 2, 3, 4, knocks them into it. This like does not scale at all. You can get big damage from this. Pretty good, right? Can do a dash buffer a little bit to make sure the back 2 hits. That can be useful. You have to switch it up sometimes. You either want to do just back 2, 3, 4 raw or do like a dash cancel one. Then you can also do back 2, down back 2. Also gives you a combo that just doesn't scale at all. Then after that, this is when you get into like the fakery and the tricky stuff. First thing you can do is immediate smoke bomb. Also gives you a combo, catches them if they try to jump out of this, right? Next, teleport obviously, also knocks them into it. Will hit them trying to backdash out. Then next is dash into forward 4. So this is multi-layered. So we're gonna do forward 4, back forward 3. If they block it, obviously you're gonna cancel. You're gonna do the dash cancel so that you're plus 12 or plus 2. They flawless block it. If they get hit by it, convert into a combo, just ignore your orb. All you're gonna do if that works, like if this hits, you're just gonna set the orb up again. Like so. If they block it, and you know they're gonna block it, then this is where we get into the fucked up shit that like gets people tilted. This is usually when you get to this layer. This is when people will start rage quitting on you. So now we do this. Throw, right? Fake forward in the throw. You can do fake back 2 in the throw as well. Although this is a little hard to execute. I don't know if I would recommend it over forward 4, but like so. And that is your rotation of options. Now, you just always back throw. There's no reason when you're going for a throw to do anything else because, like, they can't even get out of this by teching. If they try to tech, they're dead. Right? Like, if they try to tech, they get hit. Yeah. So they can't tech your throw, right? So what they can do here is they can down 2 cancel. So if they have 2 bars, they can do down 2 and armor out and get a combo and retaliation if you go for the throw only. The problem is, once you condition them into this, this is what will happen. So I haven't set the stance hole here, so he's going to always block high, right? So you're just going to tap them with this until they get hit. Like, you're just poking them with forward 3 until they get hit by the orb, or, you know, you do forward 3 and they block it, and then you do throw, right? Something like that. You could do sweep, but I don't like to do sweep because you don't get a good combo. You don't get a good conversion. So this is the essence of like the mid-screen set play. Of course, there's like other things you can do. You know, you can like this. You can do this, right? So now they're sandwiched in between you and the orb, right? And they have to guess whether you're going to commit to the teleport attack or do just reposition yourself. So this is the flowchart. If you get them in the corner, though, it gets really, really bad. So, and this is where the defensive options of your opponent matters more. You're more likely to get hit by a defensive option when you have someone cornered. So I'm going to start with what I like to do against Johnny, which is the jump 1-1 back 4-3 instead. So you have to, when you set this up, it must be, like, I'm not even joking, it's got to be on the frame. Like, as soon as you're able to call out the orb, you have to do it, like frame 1, like this. So let's dissect what happens here, right? So we're gonna put get up mode on, and we're starting to hand shadow kick, right? That's the obvious one. Block. You get block punish into the orb, right? Now I did the version with more frame advantage, so I'll do the full combo version where you do 2 3-2s here. Hold on. So he can hit you there, right? As you can see, he can hit you there. But this actually is not the end. Even if he can armor out there, you might have seen that was not a punish. Well, okay, it was a punish, so in Johnny's case, he can do that. But Johnny is the fastest armor, and no one else can. So if Johnny starts doing that, right? If he starts doing EX shadow kick, then you go to this one. Go this one. So here's the thing about this off this string. Is this. Like, you have infinite plus frames here to do whatever the fuck you want with it. Let me see if I can get this to work. Like, that's an option you have. Another thing that you can do here is, like, hold on. You can smoke bomb like that. This is an interesting one, what I just did there. Scrambles their inputs and prevents them from doing the shadow kick at all. So, another thing you can do here, of course you could do this. See if that works. I never tried this specific one. I tried it on the fly. Because it would make sense if it worked. Yep, see? So, you could do that. So, this kind of all goes back to the trends that fighting games are going towards, where they're trying to get away from binary mix, right? We just got out of an era of where a lot of it was just binary 50-50s. And so now what we're getting into is we're getting into a mental stack set play era. I think this is a lot better than dealing with 50-50s all day. But as you can see, you have infinite options here when you set this up. See if I can get the duck frame so my sweeps come out. I wonder if I can. Nah, I can't do that. So as you can see, there's multiple options here. Of course, if nothing else, you just block the shadow kick, right? So then let's say they start doing nut punch, right? They're like, okay, I can't do that, so I'm going to do invincible nut punch now. Well, they get frozen. Right? And if the orb contacts by itself, I want to point this out, when the orb contacts by itself, you get big damage off it. Like, it has no scaling whatsoever whenever you do this. Another thing you can do, if you're dealing with an invincible attack, you know, you can do whatever. You can neutral jump. I can do that too. Sometimes you can take the hit on purpose and it will fuck them up. Like, even though he's not going to get punished by the orb on whiff here, he still has to hold the orb. Like, he doesn't actually get his turn back, right? So that's what we're looking at here. Now, let's say he tries something different. Like, he wants to use a different hitbox. So he's going to do cold shoulder wake up instead. Make sure he actually does it. Okay. So let's say he tries to go for sub shoulder now. Well, you can't even do that, right? One of the best invincible attacks in the game, and he can't even do it. If he does, he gets frozen. And not only does he get frozen, let me point this out. His cameo gets hit too, which means you get the bonus damage. So as you can see. So, as I said, one way to get out of this, if you're the opponent, I am going to give you answers here, is if you think the smoke is going to down to, or throw, you can down to cancel. So I'm going to, hopefully I got it correctly. Let me make sure it works. Oh, I have to. So make sure this works. Okay. Okay. So if I go for throw, oh my, maybe I'm wrong. Okay, so if the smoke does the throw ASAP, you can down to cancel out of this, right? So that's nice, right? But you are spending 2 bars to get out. But here's the problem. What if I don't throw? See? So then your other option is you have to do invincible move plus ambush. Like, I'm not kidding, that is the only way. So, I'm gonna remind myself what Jai's nut punch is here for recording this. Okay, back down 1. So, this is one option you have, and this is kind of the most universal option. Is you have to do this. This is going to be hard to record on the fly. Like this. So this actually will work. Whether I throw or not, this actually will work. So, recording with Nav. Okay. Make sure that he actually does this. Okay. So, you know, wait, what? Hold on, guys. Am I breaking the game right now? Okay. So, he both gets rid of the orb, right? He gets rid of the orb, and he gets out of the setup, and he's plus. So he definitively gets his turn back. But think about what he just had to do there. He had to spend 2 bars and his cameo, and get his cameo hit and put on cooldown. Right? Like, that's insane. That's an insane investment to get out of this. Now let's try this setup even. So if I do this setup, he can't nut punch. Because I can actually block the nut punch. He gets frozen, and my incoming button is going to hit his cameo's ambush. So like there might be other options here. Like other ambushes may not run into that. Like I said, I just use Sub-Zero for purposes of him being invincible. But, like, as you can see, this is a bit of a problem. It's a bit of a problem. So, the thing is, well, as you can see, this is fucked up, right? So this is what Setplay looks like. Every decision I can make after the knockdown in an almost freestyle fashion has perfect symmetry with itself. So that is how the Smoke Frost Setplay works. You get a knockdown either with back forward 3 in the air or forward 1 to 1 plus 3. And you go for an initial 4-3 or grab setup. If they don't take the bait on it, you start doing more improvisational shit. And like I said, mid-screen is like a different story because you're using like mobility options against your opponent on top of that, right? So they have to deal with all this brain scrambling mental stack that as you can see, like, it loops into itself, obviously, but what you're also doing is putting your opponent in a situation where, even though they have the options to get out, and even though it's not, like, guaranteed, this is like a vortex, it's not absolutely guaranteed, you are forcing them into a decision-making tree that is bad for them. So, yeah, that is the Smoke Frost Setplay guide. So, I have seen a few characters, they might just be able to avoid this altogether, but not, like, really, because the problem is the smoke player can always just block, right? They can always just block and let you do whatever you want, because you have to respect the orb on top of them. So, thanks for watching, guys. I hope this helped. And yeah, I saw a couple of smoke players online Combat League yesterday who are playing this team now, and yeah, I hope to see it more. And she's probably a meta cameo. I'm gonna be honest. I think any character in the game right now can make this work and do the same thing or similar. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later. Let me know how you enjoyed the video. And let me know if I made enough sense trying to explain this, because it is a little more complicated than just like a generic mix-up setup. So, see ya.